Welcome back to the Bar Top Podcast. This is the first episode of the actual Bar Top Podcast, actually filmed and recorded here at the Bar Top in my basement.
At the Bar Top.
It feels good. It's been a long time coming.
Nice.
This is our second take. I'm not even gonna lie about it. So I'm not even gonna pretend that what we talked about earlier did not happen. But thank you guys so much for hanging out and waiting for us to release more episodes, for us to get the YouTube stuff going. Hopefully this episode will be up soon. It won't take me that long to figure out how to edit, because that'll be the next challenge. So I'm not even afraid of the editing software. I don't think my computer can handle Premiere Pro.
What kind of computer?
It's a 2012 MacBook Pro.
What's the processor?
It's probably
like an i5.
No, I don't think it's even an iPhone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pentium 4.
It's 1080p, so you should be okay.
This isn't
We'll find out.
1080p. This is
The
4K.
No,
Yeah. What are you
8K.
talking about? I'm gonna upscale it.
4K.
But no, this is fun. I'm glad that we were able to finally sit down here in my basement and actually use the set that I've been slowly and painfully building
We are
over the last couple months.
between one fern.
Yeah. I'll post a picture before we were recording. Jordan goes, "What's it called?"
Between two ferns.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about. And then as soon as you pulled up the picture, I knew exactly.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what you were talking about.
I get that. I love that series that they did on Funny or Die. So I'm all about it.
It's not ongoing, right? That was like a one-time
No,
thing?
it was like a YouTube series of Zach Galifianakis, and he interviewed a bunch of people. He did some crazy. He did Barack Obama when he was the president. He did a bunch, and then they made a movie on Netflix about the show.
What?
I didn't
it
know
was,
that.
It was
I
the
didn't know
movie's
that either.
hilarious. I love the movie. It's hilarious. And I think that I could be wrong, but I think that they still do episodes of Between Two Ferns. But
That's funny.
I think it's hilarious.
Dang.
We need to we were talking about what we were going to talk about today, and about things that are slept on, and or things that people don't maybe not know of, or
Things underappreciated.
yeah. And Jordan and I had already talked about this, and I was waiting till you were here to pitch this idea. But I think one episode, you guys need to come over for an afternoon.
Oh yeah.
And we sit down, and you guys are going to sit down and you're going to watch Hamilton, the musical, and then we're going to do an episode.
You haven't watched it, right, Blake?
I've watched half of it.
Yeah,
I've never been through the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
I watched one scene. It was
Yeah.
in the middle of it.
So here's the thing. My sister, in love with Hamilton. She saw it, and then ever since, every time we're in the car, she's playing the musical, the soundtrack.
Yeah.
We watch it a couple times a month. It seems like
How-
someone,
how
not
do you-
me,
what
but
are your
someone
thoughts?
someone in our household will watch it.
So how do you feel
So, okay,
about it?
I hated it when my sister would play the music. I absolutely did not like it at all.
Because you didn't have the context.
Yes. And then I watched it,
Yeah.
and I'm listening to it as I was studying last night.
Nice.
I listened to the entire musical, as I'm doing homework. It's one of those things where, and this may be just a me thing because I have a musical background. I grew up playing instruments and stuff.
Yeah.
I was into jazz and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's not even the history part of it, because I'm not a big history buff, but just the entire experience of that musical is just so enticing. It's kind of it's really captivating. I don't know how
visually? Is that what you're saying?
visually, but then the
Or
music, the music is just so good.
Yeah. Is it the music interweaved with the characters or the set pieces or?
So Lin-Manuel wrote everything. Wrote the music, wrote the play, wrote the script, and then he also plays Hamilton. So he plays the main
I didn't
character.
know
Yeah,
That's cool.
So he is one of the most talented and creative artists ever. And I know that not a lot of people know, unless you know of Hamilton and some of his other work stuff. You wouldn't know his name and stuff.
Mhm.
But when you listen to the music, especially for someone I know, Jordan, with you, you listen to music, not just like you don't
Yeah.
just play music, but you actually listen to music for music. And I know you're the same way too. Like especially with your exercising and stuff, like you listen to music.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
for someone that like appreciates not just the words, but like the style and what goes into writing,
it's
the
a
production
creative
stuff,
process for sure.
because it's not just I think what puts a lot of people off is they hear it's a musical and they're like, oh, I don't do musicals, but it's like rap music, a musical, and then history, like a history movie all put together. But it's super entertaining.
Yeah,
and it's like stuff that we learned about Alexander Hamilton in like school, but like I didn't know half of the stuff that like actually happened.
I'll be completely honest. I don't know who that is.
Fair.
Sure.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Fair.
Yeah, no, and I think most people don't.
Is he the president?
No. He probably, if no, I'm not gonna ruin it.
Well, it's funny that that we're talking about Hamilton, because when you bring that up, I think about like with my past. I wasn't involved in theater myself. Actually, I helped build a few of the sets, like on the tech team or whatever. But I was never in like these musicals or these theater productions and stuff. But I had so many friends who were in these plays, and so I'd go and see, all these school plays.
Yeah,
like there's Into the Woods. There's just all these different plays that they'd be a part of, and I never was one of those big musical buffs or anything like that. Like being a filmmaker, like I've always loved storytelling, creative processes, and things like that. And so when I'd go into these places, I'd be kind of breaking them down from that kind of linear process. But it was interesting to me. But growing up, I just loved film, and so it kind of it was just a natural kind of outlet for me to also like go and sit down and see something live. I thought that was kind of cool. In terms of like the actual musical itself, like it took a while to get used to. Like going to a theater and watching that, like The Great Showman.
Oh gosh, that's a good movie.
Love that movie.
I haven't seen it in person, but that's a great movie.
But it's also a musical too. So they interweaved all these different elements of film and theater. And I think it just works very beautifully together. So.
And I think again, the creative process, it's the only like modern musical that incorporates like modern style of music, so like rap music, and it's not like basic rap. It's like well thought out, well written. It flows. There's like punchlines, like they're like throwing jabs, but there's also a like character in. You can tell, like you can feel, like when you're listening to it, you can tell like who's who, even if you're not watching it.
Oh, that's cool. Can like a clear distinction.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So. No, we'll definitely have to. If you guys are down, we'll have to pick a day that we sit down and watch it. It's long though. It's like 3 hours.
It's 3 hours. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I'm down. I mean, I'm down. I've never been a big musical guy. I stopped at Disney with musicals, but I mean, I'm always down.
Yeah.
My mom was so upset when she found out Mulan wasn't a musical. The new one.
I heard that movie sucked.
Did
you see it?
I never saw it. I didn't watch it.
Like I have had like multiple people say, "Yeah, don't watch it."
I was like, really? When they had to make it live action, like
it's also $20 to see it.
Yeah,
or like 20. It's like $30.
It was supposed to come out in theaters, and it never did because of COVID.
Yeah,
right.
So they got to make their money.
So
no, they don't.
That movie
Disney has plenty of money.
Yeah, like seeing the animation, seeing that piece, it's good on its own. Like you don't need to like remake the live action piece, which the trailers make it look cool and all this stuff.
The trailers are always,
but it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I'll go see it maybe, but I'd probably critique it the whole time.
Yeah. Ooh, speaking of trailers, the other day, an ad on YouTube came up and it was Lego Star Wars, which I used to play as a kid. Like
that's coming out?
Yeah, they're making a new one, and it's like all the Skywalker saga. The trailer looks amazing.
Legos?
Legos.
You guys watched the Lego movie?
Yes,
that's
Oh my god!
talk about
my
so
childhood.
good.
Talk about slept on. That
Yeah,
is a slept on movie.
Childhood. That movie came out like 4 years ago.
No, like when I first got into video stuff. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Like I did like
oh,
the,
you made movies of Legos.
like Lego stop motions.
Oh,
Oh,
that's so
gosh,
sick.
stop motion.
that was like my thing. Yeah, that was
But
like my
I
first.
thought you
li-
meant like the Lego movie was your childhood. I was like, bro, I didn't know you were that young. You young.
Oh man. No, yeah, that's like
Blake has Benjamin Button disease.
You got that Benjamin Button. Oh, you got that Benjamin Button.
Benjamin Button tip. No, but like yeah. When I
Olivia,
watched, go ahead.
Olivia saw that trailer, and there's like cutscenes in it, and she was like, "Oh, I bet that's gonna be so good." Whatever she said,
Yeah.
but she was insinuating that what was shown in the trailer was gonna be in the game, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but you have no idea what trickery video game companies pull every time they release a trailer."
That's true.
Other than sports games and like there hasn't been a trailer recently of a game that I saw the trailer and then I bought it and it was accurate. Not that the game wasn't good,
right.
but they never show true gameplay in the trailers. And I know you're not a big
Yeah.
gamer,
Right.
but like
Yeah.
for instance, there was a new game coming out and it was like it was one of the Tom Clancy games. Like
I already have an example.
the Ghost Recon games.
Well, not that, but-
Yeah, but when I saw that trailer, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be the best game ever." It's so
Right.
immersive. Like
Hyping
it's
you
like
up.
real fighter. Like you
Yeah.
know, you have to like be strategic. Nothing like what the trailer showed.
Yeah.
Like at all. And and what I don't get is this has been ongoing for ever. Like
Yeah.
and gamers get mad and they're like, "Oh, like that's not even like the game will come out and it won't be like that."
Right.
But like they just keep doing it.
What's your example?
Well, so you know The Last of Us?
Yeah.
So The Last of Us 2 came out, and I'm not a big, like I don't play video games, but I did play The Last of Us, and that came out like 8 years ago. And the reason why I loved that game was because it was super cinematic. It had like this film-like quality to it, and it had a good storyline. And so when I played that game, I was like, "Oh, that was great. Like I wish there was a second one." Right? And then they said, like this was like 2 years ago. They came out with a trailer and like, okay, we're going to release it in like 5 months.
But they
Never,
didn't.
never came out, right? And
Then
I'm
they
like,
remastered
God.
it.
And then but then it came out. It came out like 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And so when it came out, I was like, oh my gosh, like I was like on the fence. I was like, should I buy it? Should I not? And I don't even have like a console. I was like going to use my, my friend's
Wait.
console because I'm not
You were
like a
gonna
gamer.
buy it and not have something to play it on?
No, I had
Someone
his
will
console.
eventually. You can just go over to the homie's house until you find one. And be like, hey,
Exactly.
can I play this real
Yo,
quick?
can I?
I
can
found
I-
this game.
Just
Can I
go to the
slide
bridge.
in real quick?
Just go to the bridge. Throw it on the
Yeah.
Xbox there.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, well, let me see what other people think about it. And the more I dug into it, was like when they came out with the trailer and looking at the storyline versus looking at the actual gameplay, they changed the entire storyline from what the trailer made it out to be. Like, and so people were like furious when they played the game because certain characters that showed up in that trailer were
Weren't.
not in the game.
Dude, it's annoying.
like at all.
It's annoying.
Like scenes
And-
that were in that trailer were like not in the game.
And it's
So,
not
that's
just
crazy.
video games because movies do it too. And granted, movies,
Well,
they're filming while they're like, they release a trailer while they're still in production, right?
I mean, in some cases, usually they're wrapped by then.
At least shooting wise.
Yeah, with actual production of the film, they're usually wrapped by the time they
Release
edit the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah,
But they're
um,
not done with the final.
the final piece. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the final cut is usually ongoing. But yeah, I understand what you say. I mean, I think trailers just give away the whole movie nowadays. You know, like you watch a trailer, like, oh, well, I just saw the whole movie.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Really?
especially
I
when
never
it-
thought about that.
Well, especially when
Like-
it fits like a consistent mold, like
Yeah.
like if it's a super unique film, like I'm sure that no one saw like randomly like Inception. No one saw where that movie was coming, or different movies like that. But when you have like an action movie or a romance movie, you give 5 scenes in a trailer, you know exactly what mold
Yeah,
it's
it's
gonna
like
fit.
cliche.
Oh my gosh!
Because there's
thing.
only so many storylines that you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and that's like, as a director, it's gotta like at some point it's gotta be really tough to come up with like a new.
Unless you're Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Talk
Did
about.
you guys see Tenet yet?
Oh yeah.
I haven't
No.
seen it. I want to see it so bad.
Man.
Is it
I
so
was
good?
so excited.
I'm so excited.
It's definitely trippier than any of his other films.
Yes.
So
Trippier than Inception.
yes.
What?
Oh yeah. Because Inception,
Dang.
like when it wrapped, you're like, okay, I could piece it together. I understand everything.
Yeah.
With this movie, like you have to go a few times,
That's
or
how
at least like think about it, or like look at commentaries.
That's how I felt about Interstellar.
Because yeah,
Interstellar
like
was tough.
Interstellar
Yeah,
was tough
that was
too.
a good movie though.
So
But it was
good.
great. Yeah.
I'm so excited for
Um,
that one.
Yeah, there are definitely loud scenes. Like so Christopher Nolan has this thing, I think it was like since Inception or another film, where there's scenes where the characters are talking and there's like a dialogue moment, but there's music that was mixed in and it goes slightly above their audio level of their voice. And so you can't really hear them that well. And so there was a few moments in this movie where it was like that. And I think that's just a stylistic choice that he likes. But I mean, I personally was like, I can't hear what they're I can't hear what they're saying. So
That's interesting.
but dude, visually, gosh, killing it again.
I'm gonna go see that.
That's so good.
When
I'll
did
I'll
you
go
see
watch
it?
it with you again.
I'm down.
Like
I
I
need
want to
see
pick that
it.
movie apart. So it's great.
The other one that that was supposed to they just released a trailer. It's not supposed to come out yet, but the Batman movie.
Oh yeah, with Pattinson, dude.
Robbie.
Holy dude.
Now he's got COVID.
Oh, he
Does
does.
he really?
Yeah, they had to stop production, which is crazy because they had just resumed production, and then literally like
And then your lead
literally
role
like
gets-
like 4 days after they released the trailer, he gets COVID, so they had to stop production again.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's 2 weeks.
Robert Pattinson be out here though with those movies.
He's in a lot right now.
He's been in a lot.
He's in Tenet, right?
Yeah,
He's
one of the
in
main-
Tenet.
main
He's in
characters.
something else that just came out recently.
Twilight.
Okay,
yeah.
speaking of Twilight, you know what's funny? So when when the Batman trailer came out, when you looked at the description on YouTube, they had a list of like who was in the movie and who the directors are.
Uh-huh.
Each person they gave like credits, like their top credits, like in parentheses. They did not list Twilight, and which I
Good.
think is a PR thing. I think they're trying to get away from
Don't
him
look at him
being
as the Twilight dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a heartthrob.
he'll forever be the Twilight
the
kid.
pale Twilight guy. Yeah, I feel that.
He's trying to create his own brand.
Yeah.
I
I could
it.
respect him definitely as an actor though. He's good.
Yeah.
Really good at what he does.
Yeah.
So
All right, so back to, I think we should actually dive into our question that we were talking about. The
Oh,
what
the-
slept on.
What's super slept on?
Yeah. Did you already have one?
I off the top of my head, I could probably think of one real quick. I don't know how like slept on it is, but okay, I had one, and I know that you're gonna want to argue, but I feel like it's I don't know. I think that even though it's one of the top 3 sports, I
already know what you're gonna say.
well, you know what? I'm not even gonna go there. I'm gonna go a step deeper. I think
oh
that
boy.
soccer is super slept on.
No, I like soccer.
Yeah,
I don't have an issue with soccer.
I'm talking.
I have an issue with
I was gonna say originally I was gonna say baseball.
yeah,
because
yeah.
I think the baseball slept on.
No. Baseball is, especially recently. My dad and I were having this conversation. Had you been like following some of the stuff that had been going on in the
Yeah.
last couple weeks with like the unwritten rule stuff?
Yeah,
That is okay. I'm gonna fill you in right now. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
at work.
this is stupid. I get this.
Yes,
this is
unwritten
stupid.
rule.
So I'm at work, right?
Okay.
And I get a notification from ESPN.
Yeah.
And it's about the post-game press conference. I can't remember who was playing. I can't remember what
It
team.
was the Padres and the Texans.
Yeah.
Not the Texans, the Rangers. Sorry, they're both Texas.
Yeah. And they're both teams that are not historically good. Not that they're
I'm,
Not that
I'm,
they- yeah.
I'm slightly Padres fan, so
Yeah.
watch yourself.
Yeah. Anyway, the Padres are kicking butt in this game, right?
Okay.
Like if there was a mercy rule, it was started. They would have had started to consider it, right? It's like top of the 8th or something like
Yeah.
that.
8th inning.
You have the second highest, or the second most home runs. It's some rookie. It's up
Okay.
to bat, right?
Okay, let's go. Come on.
Bases are loaded,
Cool.
Mhm.
right? 3 balls, no strikes. Okay.
Okay.
So as a pitcher, you know that you can't walk this guy. So you have to throw a strike on this next pitch. As a batter, you know that pitch is going to go in the strike zone.
Right.
It has to.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get
Or you're
walked.
going to make them walk. Yeah.
And then they're going to walk in and run.
Right.
This dude swung the bat and hit a grand slam. And not only was the opposing coach pissed, like post game, he was like, it's an unwritten rule that when it's 3-0, top of the 8th, and you guys are, it's a blowout win, that you just don't swing. You take the pitch. So, and then to make it even worse,
that's interesting.
His own coach in a press conference said, "Yeah, if I were him, I wouldn't have swung at the pitch."
Why? For what?
So here's my reasoning, or here's like where I am at with this.
You got to at least like,
you are a Major League Baseball player getting paid millions of dollars to hit home runs. And you're telling me that you can't hit a home run because you're gonna make the other team feel bad because you're winning?
Like, stop being soft. Just
hit
the ball.
It makes sense. There's just like certain things, and I think that's definitely one of the stupider ones that I've seen.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like I guess, and I had never, because I've been a baseball fan for a while, and like I never knew, like I'd never seen an example of that rule being broken, but I guess I see both sides. I think it's stupid too. I watched a bunch of things on it and it's stupid. I get that.
Yeah.
But like I get the culture of baseball. And the culture of baseball is kind of like, you don't want to be that guy that like I don't know. It's just a thing. It's like a thing that you don't do. It's like in the NBA. If you're in the NBA, you're up by 20 and you the clock's running out and there's less than 24 seconds and you have the ball but you're also up 20. If you shoot within those 24 seconds,
you're a jerk.
Someone's going to say something to you after.
Yeah.
And that's not a rule. Like, you're allowed to do that. Like, go ahead, pull up from 35. But you're gonna get someone's gonna say something, or if you're in
backlash for it.
Yeah, or if you're in NFL and you're in victory formation and someone tackles.
Yeah, someone blitzes like victory formation.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
It's just one of those things where like it just reminds me so much of like a little league mentality.
Exactly.
Of like
it is
of like, oh, don't hurt my feeling. Like, you guys are winning too much.
Yeah.
But I think that what that whole thing is that a lot of the times that's the culture of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is not beating your opponent to embarrass them.
Dude,
like, you want to win.
Well,
I don't know but that's like baseball.
Yeah.
But if I'm that kid, right? So, and by the way, with that grand slam, he then took first place in the league for home runs.
And he's a rookie.
That's
amazing. I love
so
it.
Yes, I get what you're saying. It's the culture. Like, by being in the MLB, that you know that is
ball.
Yeah,
I get it. I'm not saying.
Like,
I get it.
I'd hit that thing, dude.
I get that, but like the crazy part too. I don't think he will because he's a rookie too. But I think that there are also like a lot of things in baseball that you don't see in other sports.
No,
like you can hit a batter.
That
and you like there's just so many things. A lot of them is towards pitchers too. I think that
that
pitchers can be babies, to be honest.
No,
and they get pitchers get their feelings hurt so easily. And it's the stupidest thing. Like, that's the one thing about baseball I don't like, is how easily pitchers get their feelings hurt.
When that pitcher walked off the mound and went,
I'm telling you, they get their feelings
looking like some toddler.
They get their feelings hurt. That was
the funniest thing ever.
Like, you can't have emotion when you run the bases. If you have too much emotion, you're gonna get thrown at. If you crowd the plate, which is kind of not the best thing to do, you're gonna get thrown at. Like, different things. If you bat flip, you're gonna get thrown at. If you break one of the unwritten rules, you're gonna get thrown at. If you hit too many, like, I've seen things where a guy will be batting like a crazy good amount against a pitcher, and he'll just hit you. And what are you gonna do? That's why. Here's one thing I'll say. I'm gonna get serious for this. Say what you will, America, about baseball and how it's not as interesting. I think that next to football, no one is about that life like baseball players. I have never seen. Listen,
This man's.
listen.
Hold on.
Have you ever seen an NBA player full on swing on someone in a game?
Yes.
Let me bring that up. Let me
Name
bring
the
that
last
up.
time
Let
you
me bring
saw
that up
an
real quick.
NBA player
Because I told you
make
that
full on
I
contact.
asked you if you watched The Last Dance. I don't know if you watched it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This isn't the 80s though. This isn't
That's
the
what
80s.
I'm saying though. It's like back in the day.
Oh, I'm not talking.
Okay, boomer.
I'm not saying like Bill
Like-
Laimbeer time. I'm saying like right now.
Well, I'm talking about like people just got soft though. That's what I'm saying. Like back then in the 80s, where it's like
hold
like-
on. But that I don't agree with.
like
I don't think
because Michael Jordan like humiliated people with the
Yes,
amount of
no,
points he
no.
was scoring per game.
I don't think that the players got soft. I think the environment and like the expectations got soft. Like you
That's a
look
good
at
point.
it like so and here's
I want to listen to that though. I'd still do me and like play the game.
Yeah,
because
but then
that's what I'm.
but then you're getting thrown out, just like Jordan's saying. Now in the NBA,
For what?
you
Just to
you
hit a ball,
touch,
grand
you
slam?
touch someone and you're getting fouled. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, you do something to me, like if you like step on me when I'm walking by.
Okay, well,
No one, I'm telling you, like NFL players. I've seen dudes like who was it? There's that dude that played for the Texans a while ago, and he straight like let some
Watson?
dude headbutt him. No, he was on the Texans. I forget his name. He played at USC.
Mm.
But he let some dude headbutt him while he had his helmet off. He didn't see it coming, but he also took a headbutt to the like skull when someone had a helmet on. That was the
Wow.
craziest thing I've ever seen.
And didn't do anything.
Oh no, you got in his face. I
Oh.
forget his name. Crazy guy. He was awesome.
it's hurt.
But I'm saying, like, baseball players will fight. They'll like fight.
But because there's no there's no major repercussions.
Yes, there is. You get suspension and a
Yeah.
fine. It's
but
the same
so-
thing.
But not like
no, like when Rajon Rondo punched Chris Paul in the face. I think he got like that's the last time I've seen like someone actually like throw a punch. I think he got suspended like 2 or 3 games. Like if you hit well, that's different with pitchers, but like you'll get
Yeah.
suspended like 7 games. But I'm telling you, baseball players want to fight.
You're talking
they-
about now.
what
too,
about hockey
in this
though?
culture?
That's different. That's
Oh.
completely different, especially when you add the fact that they also are wearing helmets and have pads.
Yeah.
Baseball players have nothing, and I've seen dudes.
yeah, that is true. I'll give you that.
There was in like I forget when it was, but one dude got hit and charged the mound, lowered his shoulder, hit the pitcher, and broke his collarbone.
Oh my gosh.
I've seen. Oh my gosh, I love it. They will fight. They
It's
won't
like
just talk.
Dude, it's like rugby. Like
Jordan,
Dude.
do you get like riled up when you play when you play sports and like basketball or anything like that?
no, he's not a Justin.
Justin gets mad, bro. He didn't even like.
That's crazy.
It ain't even a game to him at that point.
I used to get a little bit more competitive, but I think that I've realized that I'm 26 and I'm at the point where if I'm getting this upset about a pickup basketball game,
Yeah,
I got my priorities wrong.
That's true.
So I just don't let it get to me because at the end of the day, like I'm not going to make it to the league, I think.
yeah.
Phoenix Suns, but I don't think I'm going to make it to the league. So at this point, it's not even worth it to me.
Yeah, true.
So but like I get competitive. Like my 8 will come out every once in a while and I'll be like, "Urgh."
Mm.
But like I've never gotten enough. Well, I got in college once. I got close to getting in a fight, but I've never gotten in a fight.
Would you go into like a rec team or like a league or anything like that? Like now, just
yeah,
to play because you're good.
yeah, I
You know?
would. I would. I'd do like a men's league, but I'm telling you, like that's the whole thing that kind of annoys me. Is like I get the idea of having a competitive nature
Yeah,
and like wanting to compete and wanting to do well.
Yeah.
What annoys me is that when people are still trying to prove something, in that sense, to where it's a superior athlete that's not going to win, like get you to any level.
when it's not like your life. It's when it's not like something you do for a living.
like when people are playing like it's Game 7 NBA Finals,
and it's a pickup game, Yeah,
right?
I
And
feel you.
you've got like your whole livelihood of like,
Those are the people that like didn't make it in high school or college, and they're trying to relive.
and
I'm
if
not,
you,
I'm not saying that.
right, and if you're that good, like there are guys, like I know guys that are like that good, but I just like, for me personally, I'm not gonna let it affect my life because if I never played basketball again, I'd be super bummed. But it's like
Yeah.
life would go on.
Right. Now, did you play in high school or anything?
No, I my stepdad really wanted me to, and I like kind of wanted to.
Yeah.
And then I was so self-conscious because I was super short. And like the years that I really wanted to play, I was living in San Diego and was adjusting and was super self-conscious, super short.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. After I graduated, I went back to San Diego. After I moved back to Arizona, I went back to visit my family.
Yeah.
And I played with all the guys that played high school there. And I was like, yeah, I could have played.
Yeah.
Which like bummed me out at the time.
You totally could have. Like,
yeah.
It's crazy. Like, and maybe it's just because I, as a high school kid or junior high, I didn't do like basketball or anything like that. And I didn't do like pickup games at the park and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like seeing the level of talent, especially just at the bridge, like I'm like, what
with
the
students,
heck?
yeah.
Like not just students, but like you, Justin, like even Matt, like
Matt played in college.
Oh, really?
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
well,
never seen
that
Matt.
makes sense.
I've never
then.
seen Matt play before.
Oh my gosh,
And that's nice.
Is he
Dude,
good?
Matt's
Where do you play?
I don't know, some tiny little school. He played a little bit.
That's
No,
cool.
he's
though.
good.
He's
That's
nice.
yeah, that's awesome.
Justin's just huge, but like,
Yeah, right.
yeah, I love basketball.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
That's cool.
Like that and like skating, which
Yeah.
is awful.
Yeah, it's your
But
thing.
like, and what's hard is that like I like. It's so interesting to think of like the fact that I know that I'm not gonna always be able to do like skating for sure. Like there will come to a point when I have kids and the idea of like doing like stuff that I'm doing right now, I can already tell I will rethink it because it's like, is this worth me breaking my wrist? Is this worth me like falling and like eating it? Basketball, like I'd be fine. Like Erwin McManus is like 60 something and he's balling out every week.
Aaron McManus. He's a pastor from Mosaic.
He and Jerry Lorenzo are playing every weekend, and I'm trying to get. He's like 60 something.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just trying to get to a point in my life where I can do that, like where I can like. First of all, I want to be invited. Jerry, Erwin, I'd love to play sometime. But
there used to be. Did you ever play with us on Tuesday nights?
No.
Oh,
what, basketball?
Yeah, it was the
Why
men's.
doesn't Blake play?
I was like thinking about like I might like come into like a pickup game at some point or
Do
something.
it, dude.
But
Do it.
You're fast.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to play a little bit, but not like.
Are you sure?
You used to dabble.
Yeah, I'm not good anymore, but I come from a basketball family.
Oh, I didn't know.
Everyone in my family plays basketball. My twin sister played basketball. My older sister went to Durango in Fort Lewis. She went to Fort Lewis.
For basketball?
She played basketball.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Two of my
full-time.
best friends played football at Fort Lewis.
Yeah. What are their names? Where they're?
They graduated 2012 with me.
Okay.
But the main one, actually was one dude that played. His name is Jackson Caldwell.
Okay. I'll have to ask my sister.
Shout out
'Cause
Austin, Texas.
My sister's, she's 26, so.
Oh, she's my age. She might have known him. It was a
Yeah.
small school too.
Yeah. So
Good
she
dude.
probably did know him. But yeah, she played at Fort Lewis all 4 years, and so we'd all play together and do all that stuff. And yeah, I played when I was little, but like in high school, no, I never played or anything.
Do you want to know the one move that I always like? Why I'm so good at playing defense against Nathan?
Shut up. It's so dumb. It's the dumbest thing, and I don't know why it works. To this day, I don't know why it works.
Nathan doesn't have a lot of moves.
No,
I
can't
moves
go.
either.
I can't go left.
He can't go
I
left.
can't
and he'll
go left at all.
That's all I can do because I'm a left-handed player.
That's dangerous. That's good to
Yeah.
have. But Nathan will go right every time, and he'll go to the side, and then he'll kind of stop and pivot and then pull up.
Nice.
I get so mean every time I smack his side when he
Dude,
goes
and
to pull up.
not just like a tap, almost like.
They wouldn't
to
call
the
a
point-
foul.
Yo, are you kidding me, dude? You pretty much 5-star me on the side,
No.
and every time it works. Every time I don't think I've ever made it after he's done that.
He'll
the
just go up,
worst.
and the second he does, I just give him a little like love tap on the side. It just throws him off.
Oh my god.
He gets so bad.
Well, so do you guys do man-to-man or do you do like zones?
When we played pickup,
And it's just pick up, so usually
Yeah.
just man.
Yeah, I like that a lot better.
I think it's too hard to.
I feel like I'd get like
it gets too
What am I supposed to
confusing if you have people that don't know,
zones and
like
stuff.
me,
That's true. Me
because
too.
I played like YMCA growing up, but I never played.
Junior Sons, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
That's exactly.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but I never played for school or anything.
Yeah.
I was too busy playing instruments.
Can we get back to things that are slept on? Do you
Yeah.
guys have anything? I'm interested.
What's funny is the one that I was gonna bring up,
Musicals.
we already brought up. It was Hamilton.
That's not slept on. I feel like every
I feel like when it came out, everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
when it came out on
Hamilton,
Disney Plus, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like how I feel about
For
Avatar right
sure.
now,
The Last Airbender.
Dude,
bro.
I need to show Blake. Can I post that on Instagram?
Absolutely.
So the other night at the bridge on Friday, we're getting ready to leave, and you know how him and Sheridan are.
Yep. Fighting all the time.
He has Sheridan's flip flops, and they're outside
Of course.
in the dirt, right, or on the, on the new pathway or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Not only does he throw one of them, so then she's like trying to find it. So then, whatever, they're fighting each other. He's like hitting her with the flip flops. He throws it like in the dirt for her to go get it, and then he. I can't even do it. He does. He does this stupid Aang thing from Avatar, and he acts like he's like airbending.
I had to airbender.
So
I airbended the crap out of her.
but it was so well done that immediately I was like, "You guys need to pull the footage. I need this clip right." Like I need. So luckily, Sheridan pulled up the security camera. Got me the.
Can you? Are you at the stage where you can like post that like right up here? Can we get that?
Yeah,
Like,
cut to it.
The key card will be right here.
Yeah.
Wherever it is. I like that was a great form. That was a great form.
It
was
looking like
to airbend her.
Over here looking like you're morphing into a Power Ranger or something.
Yeah.
No, dude. I just like I went straight Avatar
It's morphin'
state.
time.
I went into the Avatar state.
It's morphin' time. I can't with you, Blake.
Triceratops. What is something that you like that's super slept on?
I feel like not many people listen to classic rock anymore.
Ooh, I like that.
You know, like
At least our age.
Boston. Oh,
Ooh, I love
Journey.
Boston.
Pink Floyd, dude.
Journey.
I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. I like that.
So
I think that's one of those
That's
things.
good, too.
Like it goes back to.
it's like my workshop music. That stuff.
I've got
Yeah,
it.
I
if
can
I'm
see
building
that.
something, oh,
You have one.
Yeah. So, I lead a discipleship group with a couple of guys at our church, and I brought this one up, and I get roasted all the time. My roommates roast me so bad that I've had to get counseling for. I'm just kidding, but it's I get roasted.
Jeez, dude.
So
I'd go see a therapist for that.
I get roasted so hard for this. I'm a big supporter of therapy, by the way, but
Never done it.
yeah, absolutely. But I eat Oreos like no one else does.
Didn't you say you take out the cream and you just eat the cookie?
No. That's what
would
Satan
be
does.
reasonable.
I feel like
That's
someone
what
told me that though
Satan
one time. I'm
does.
like, dang.
Okay, I have this thing, and I came up with a name for it, and it makes it sound gross, but imagine this.
Oh, you put all the stuffing on there. Like you take
No.
the stuffing
No,
on.
dude, just
All right, let me listen.
just
real quick.
wait because you're gonna
So
be
you take-
revolted.
It's so good though, dude. You take like 5 or 6 cookies, put them in a cup. You break that up with a spoon. Then, once it's kind of all broken up, you can do this with any cookie, by the way. It doesn't have to be an Oreo, but it's really good with Oreos. Then you put like this much milk in there. So you put the milk in there, and then you just start stirring and stirring and stirring. And
so
then
it's like a paste.
Right.
we're not going to call it a paste
I
because
mean-
that sounds like something that doesn't sound good. I call it cookie soup.
That sounds even worse than
Dude,
paste. What are you talking about?
so
Cookie
good.
soup.
It's like a milkshake. It's legit like a
How about you just
milkshake.
call it like a cookies and cream joint then or something?
It's just, but it doesn't. It's just like a milkshake, but there's no ice cream. It just cuts out that middleman, and you get straight milk and straight cookie, and it's cookie soup, and it's so
I'm gonna have to cut this entire segment.
Why,
I'm
dude?
gonna lose followers.
why it's so good.
Gosh.
I
That's not even. You're not even eating it at that point.
People
You're just,
listening
you're
right
just
now,
making something different.
go into your pantry and try cookie soup at me. Jordan Tapia1 on Instagram. You
That's so
will have your
disgusting.
life forever changed. Next week or next time we film, we're all gonna eat
No.
cookie soup on
Oh
this,
my God.
and we're gonna do a reaction.
If you
to
watch all
guys.
3 hours of Hamilton, I'll do it.
You got yourself a gosh darn deal.
No, there's gonna be a test after.
That's fine.
A written
It's gonna be a
test.
comprehension test.
I'm just saying, cookie soup.
After hold on.
Disgusting.
After I said that,
soup.
after I said that last comment about the comprehension test, I immediately got PTSD. Did you ever have teachers that would do that? You would have like the teacher would be like,
it's gonna be a movie day.
Yeah, it's gonna be a movie day.
And
we're gonna watch Jurassic Park or blah, blah, whatever.
Yeah, you're over here just
I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna
sit
fall
back.
asleep. And then she goes, and then she starts passing out a paper, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And she's like, this isn't a free day. There's a comprehension test.
I remember that.
This is school.
I would rather have that in a good movie than like some awful
boring
scientific movie and no test.
How about
like you put on?
How about Bill Nye the Science Guy?
You could put that on.
You know what I'm talking about?
Put on the Magic School Bus. I'll take a test on any Magic School Bus episode.
The Magic School Bus.
Miss Frizzle.
Talk about Miss Frizzle.
That was a good show.
It was a fantastic show.
Entertaining, educational.
Yeah, dude. And Bill Nye the Science Guy. Talk about
he's still going at it, dude.
Oh, I know.
On TikTok?
Yeah,
he's
kind of a savage now.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He's like,
I does not care at all.
Can I make a confession?
Yeah, go ahead.
If
you say you don't like Bill Nye, I'm gonna punch you.
No. I love it. Gosh dang, he's testy with me today. I was talking crap about all his AV stuff, and I was just messing with him, and now he's all testy with me,
dude.
I knew you were gonna make. I want to make that noise at some point during the pod. No.
Anyway, here's the point I'm gonna make. Okay, on the topic of cartoons, I have a confession, and I confessed it to my roommate the other day. We were talking about this, and at first I felt weird, but then he was like, "Oh no, I get that." So now I don't feel as in the weird. When I was a kid, I had a crush on Lola Bunny from Space Jam.
Yeah, you and every other 5-year-old.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's okay. They made her look like a person, and I like at the time I was like, and even looking back a little bit, I was like, "That's a bunny. Like, that's not a person."
There was a. What did I see about that? There was some guy on YouTube that was like talking about like how the old team like from Nickelodeon that would do all like the design stuff or like design the characters.
Yeah.
Like should not have designed half the characters the way they did.
Like
especially if it's for kids.
It's
like,
weird. Why would you make an animal look like that?
Yeah.
Like having an animal talk in and of itself is a letdown to kids because animals don't talk. But then like you have to make animals all cute and stuff. I don't know.
No, there's a difference of making animals cute, but like when you look at specifically her character,
yeah, dude.
She was like who she was scandalous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
That was who she was as that was her character.
Lola Bunny.
Oh, yeah, from Space Jam.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like I had a crush on Lola Bunny when I was a kid, and my nana even called it out. She's like, "Jordan likes Lola Bunny," and I was like, "I do."
Oh, wait, no, hold on. I'm mixing two characters. Who's the one from Roger Rabbit? That's who I thought you were talking about.
Oh yeah,
Jessica something.
Jessica Bunny.
Yeah, that's who I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, dude, that too. But I'm telling you, Lola Bunny was like they made her like pretty.
Yeah,
and
no,
it was just like I felt
No.
self-conscious. I still don't have a crush on Lola Bunny for anyone that's wondering. I don't.
Oh my gosh, it's one of those things where like I feel like the lights just got brighter. That was so weird.
Think so?
I don't know. We're still learning all this technology stuff. There's so many things in here. I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. But no, like TV stuff. Like when you look at Disney, I saw someone I think it was someone on YouTube that was talking about like even with Disney, like the people they would cast as Disney characters.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking like Miranda Cosgrove and stuff. Like people had like the biggest crush on her, and they're like, why would you purposely pick someone that looked much older to portray as like for someone on like a Disney Channel show like that?
Like you like watch
so
the
in like
movies
real
where-
life, she was probably like for like iCarly.
Yeah.
So she was probably like
her and Sam,
17-year-old.
yeah,
playing,
exactly,
yeah.
playing someone much younger.
So you're talking about like some 13 Reasons Why type stuff where you like look at the characters and it's like you're looking at least 32, but you're playing a high school kid. Yeah. I didn't look like that in high school.
I always wondered about that, and my thought, and I could be completely wrong, but I get that end of it, but I also wonder if it's like a quality of like actor or actress you could get with like that age. like taking a 13-year-old actor and seeing the benefit of having a 17-year-old that looked young. Because I could probably play like an 18-year-old.
Well, at least get someone that's like that looks the part that's older.
I guarantee
rather
you,
than like getting someone that's like.
But I think that was the issue is that
looks
you're
super
portraying because and it goes
you're portraying a false reality.
Yeah, you can dive into all this stuff with with like beauty standards and
expectations, standards. Yeah,
because then you have kids that are like, well, why don't I look like so and so from Disney Channel when I'm in 5th grade or like when I'm in junior high? That person's in junior high and I don't look anything like them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So and it's just weird. Like that's such a societal thing that like. Yeah. I don't think anyone. Yeah. Most people watch TV, don't think anything of it, but don't realize like the consequences or like the effects it has on like their kids or even them. You know what I mean?
It'd be interesting too to like take that like across different like geographic locations, like to see like in like different countries to see like the age difference in that to like just based on what's like you want people to look like.
I would venture to say that. The U.S., like the entertainment that we have here, is much different in terms of how we market, like what beauty is to young people. Maybe not as. I'm sure other countries do it, but I feel like ours is so much drastic. And one of the examples, I mean, when you look at, it's not directly tied, but. The way that the U.S. or like America has the consumer mentality, where the U.S., as far as I know, a couple years ago, the U.S. was the only country where pharmaceutical companies would advertise to the consumer.
Oh,
yeah.
We're the only country that has TV
sense.
ads for what medication.
Right.
You should take, depending on whatever.
That's because I think, and this is like I think about Africa. Like I love Africa. I love Kenya. I was there probably like 3 years ago on a film trip, and we got to stay at this orphanage for a few weeks. So I got to stay with all these primary school kids, so elementary school and down, and they were all super sweet. But I went to this. I took the kids to. There was like this festival thing that was happening in the town nearby, and so we got in this huge bus and we just loaded them up and went. And there was one of these vendors there because they were selling these bracelets, and so I was like, oh, let me get a bracelet for my family, my friends and stuff. So I went over there and I just started talking to this dude, and his name is Samuel, and I started talking to him, and so we got on the conversation of just like what he loves to do, what his passions are. But ultimately, the thing that floored me when I was there was because this was my first time out of the country. And so the first thing that I realized was people have it in their minds over there that Americans have like everything. And to like in our eye, but in our eyes, we don't. Like we need more and more.
Yeah.
Right?
But we're like that standard that they
exactly. But and so but like when coming from our situation, this is the life we know, right? And so like having a car, having nice shoes, having these things, it's like it's kind of a norm for us. Whereas for them, it's like, culturally they don't really know that. But it was interesting because, this got onto the topic of personalities and mindsets, but ultimately where you put your happiness and your joy, and I had friends and other people I went to high school with who were miserable. And this dude was his spirit, I would say. His spirit was so, like, it was just, like, I got fuel from that.
Yeah.
From just seeing him talk and the way he lit up about seeing someone like me. Because, they're not really used to seeing, like, white people over there. And so me stopping and giving him 30 minutes and just talking to him, like, made his day. And I'm like, so, but, before I left, I got his contact info. And I remember, like, saying to him, I was like, which, for whatever reason, I felt like I needed to say this. I told him that even though my skin color is, even though I'm white and you're darker, we're still the same.
Yeah.
Like, in God's eyes, we're equal. Like, no one's higher or lower. Like, so I don't know. It's like one of those kind of beautiful moments, but it was, you know, kind of what we've been talking about, the whole expectation thing, and just seeing a different point of view like that was amazing. I don't know.
It like sucks because then you look at it like most people are born into this culture, right?
Yeah.
So all we know is to expect, not to expect, but to have the understanding that you have the availability to get whatever you want.
Right.
You know what I mean? We don't have to worry about having, well, okay, not everyone in the United States, but a majority don't have to worry about putting food on the table. Don't have to worry about having clean water, you know, every day.
Yeah.
And so having like a humbling experience like that, it's so like I don't think I've had that type of moment with someone.
Yeah.
But to see like that type of mindset and to be completely content with not having what like everyone else has, like what they have the standard of, or what they look at us of the standard of, you know, and it's like I can't even imagine having like that mentality. Like if someone were to come to me and say, hey, we're taking everything, you're gonna live a basic, you know, bare necessities life, I think I would lose my mind.
Right.
Not because I couldn't survive, but because that's all I know. You know,
that's
all
what you're used to.
Yeah.
I think that was that I went to Brazil in February. And that was one thing that like I was kind of, I'd never been out of the country. I'd never been on a missions trip, and that's what it was. And I was kind of like almost expecting to have like to hear like to have my own story. Like I'd heard so many people that were like the culture shock and then the whole experience of like the you hear a lot, but I kind of got there and I almost felt like I was going to pity the people, which is an interesting like way of approaching it, but for like lack of a better term, that's almost what it was.
Yeah.
And that would give me perspective or gratefulness and a desire to help people. But I got there and like the people that I saw there, they weren't upset. Like there was no in this, and I know that there's places that may be different, but at least in the parts of Brazil that I was in, people there weren't upset. They weren't. There wasn't this emptiness in their eyes.
Yeah.
Because just like for us, just like for them, that's all they'd ever known.
Right.
So it is interesting to see the differences that those perspectives can offer. And that was like the biggest thing is just seeing how content, kind of like what you were saying, how content someone can be with not knowing the things, I guess you could say, that we have here in America.
Exactly.
How much joy they can still carry in their hearts and how much fulfillment in life that they can still have without the things that I think about and that I give more attention to than I need, like how I look, the clothes I wear. My clout.
It's just so crazy that like
100%.
It can be that different. Just by the country that you live in. Like the fact that, you know, we have cell phones and all this technology that we're using to film the podcast, and then you go to a different country and they don't have clean water. Like, like it's not a simple like, solution, but like it's just mind blowing that like that there's that much of divide between countries.
Right.
Like what do they call it? Not established countries. What are they?
The bad kind?
No.
Like not like that, but like, what are you talking like third
poor,
world?
Yeah, like third world. Yeah. I don't know what the term is.
Third world.
No, but when they're not third world.
Second world.
Well, man, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Other places than the U.S.
Anyway,
how about that?
Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
Do you, Blake? Do you still talk to Samuel?
I do.
You do. That's the sickest thing.
I
ever.
have a few other stories, which I probably won't talk about on the podcast because I feel like I don't know. It's like one of those things that's like, I just tell like little people, like when we get off, I'll tell you guys about it. But it's like one of those things that's like, oh, I did this because I'm a great person now. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm just a human being.
Yeah.
So, but we still keep in contact. He loves God. He loves Jesus. So he's working with primary school kids over there. And I've been helping kind of fund some of that stuff. And it's awesome. Great dude. I video chatted him like a few months ago.
Are you going to go out and visit sometime?
I hope so. Yeah. I'd want to go back out there. Probably, maybe on my own. Probably not on my own. It's pretty sketch, but
I was gonna say, that
it's like getting in Nairobi. It's kind of it's a process, but I would like to go back and do work with him because we kind of started our own like organization together. More so him, obviously, because he's over there. I'm not.
Right.
But it's basically helping primary school kids with just different materials for their schooling. Like, how do we get these kids what they need to succeed?
Mm-hmm.
So that's been kind of the thing over there. So I'd love to go back over there and be more on the, hands and feet of that stuff. So
that's sick.
Yeah. But yeah, again, like seeing kids light up over there, seeing that appreciation that they have for life, like it gives you a newfound appreciation for, oh, well, I woke up today.
Yeah.
I'm living, So why am I have all this stuff. I'm healthy. So why are we getting down? Because if they have a reason to be happy,
like, why are we so stressed and anxious all the time about some? Like,
and again, it could be culture. It could be that we're growing up in that with technology and all these expectations. But ultimately, I think really at the end of the day, it's really just us versus us.
Yeah,
it's really just you versus you.
And what do you mean?
Your mind. How you look at the world, how you look at if someone sees something as a crazy, oh my gosh, like,
yeah,
like I think it's so easy to be negative, right? Like I had friends growing up who are like who were negative for like the dumbest reasons. Like new shoe would come out, like, man, I can't stand that shoe. Like, or like just like different things like that, right? And you get to the point where it's just crazy when you look at that stuff and you're like, it's just super easy to be negative. It's a lot easier to be negative than it is to be positive. And so I think a lot of people kind of go toward that route without even thinking. But on the same coin, once you experience that, and then once you see that in someone else's view, and you're like, well, why are you getting stressed about this?
Yeah.
And the one thing that I always ask myself, and, we all work in jobs that are kind of stressful. There's a lot of responsibility, but at the same time, it's like, we all could be stressed about it. Every day we could be stressed. You guys had a situation that happened recently that was tough. And now you have to kind of deal with, okay, how are we going to move forward from this?
Mm-hmm.
And how am I going to carry the weight in the responsibility, right? And it's a stressful thing, but at the same time, it's like, you could stress about it, all that stuff. Or you could ask yourself the question, well, is me stressing about it worth dying over? And at the end of the day, it's not.
Yeah.
But
and not to mention that, like, when you look at stress, I don't think a lot of people realize like how much damage stress does to the body
physically.
Yes.
yeah, for sure.
So like it, like, in my early like medical classes or whatever, they would. I had a class that talked about stress and stress management and stuff, and one of the things that they said was stress could literally kill you. Like, people don't understand that, like, the effects and the long-term effects of stress can cause like heart failure, can cause high blood pressure, like all this stuff that can lead to you actually dying. So it's just one of those things where like Blake said, I think it's all about mindset and like training yourself, I guess, to be like more humble and more to acknowledge what you have and to it's like to do something with it, I guess, is like what you want to say.
The way that I see it, the way that I like something in this season that I've been really, really focusing on The two things are what's most important, and letting the things that are most important occupy the space in your life that will lead towards those things.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. But what's most important to you, and kind of going with what you're saying is like, how am I coming up with a measurement for what those things are? And how am I using the gifts that I have, the abilities that I have, the things that God's given me? And not saying like, because it's so hard, especially since we're all Christians, and a lot of the things that we can struggle with is earning it. But not seeing it as a way to earn, but how to make the most of the opportunity that we have.
Yeah.
So how to make the most of the life that we have.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
Because I don't think like to come back from that trip and then to be like, well, I'm gonna give up all this stuff. I think some people have that like that urge, or they see someone go through that experience and then they come back and they have this humble experience. And they're like, okay, I need to give up, all of my technology. I need to do whatever so I can make it better for that other person. But like, it's like, you should almost do the opposite. You should almost use your supplies, or use whatever resources you have to make a difference for that change.
Because exactly. And like, I think that a really good example of that is Bob Goff. That dude is just this. I just have so much respect for that dude. But I think that he just does so good of a job of making the most that he has in terms of opportunity, in terms of time and what he gives it to. And the fact that he has like a job, he's a lawyer. He uses that to, like, he says, fund his fun job, which is serving people and using those things and like using those assets. He's still making tons of money, and he makes money off of like contracts that he does, and he doesn't make money off of his books, which I think is sick. But still, it's like he's using the most of what he has. He's not like going down to the bare essentials, but
because I think almost like, I don't know, I feel, and you guys can correct me if this like if this thought process is wrong, but like we always talk about like, nothing is mine, right? Like everything that I have is because God has allowed me to have it, right? So if I don't use those resources for the right reasons, aren't I like, I'm not glorifying God?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I'm wasting resources and my time and like stuff that I could be pouring out into other people that was given to me.
Yeah.
That's my outtake on it. Is like, why would I not use my resources to
totally
to outreach and to help other people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree. Have you guys read, and it's become, which was super cool to see like in like the season that's going on. Have you guys read The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry?
No.
I don't read
gosh.
books. You know that.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get the audiobook. Maybe put it in the show notes. Yeah, John Mark Comer, dude, wrote a bunch of books. That's becoming like a bestseller. Yeah. And it talks a lot about that. Like I'm almost done with it, and it's been talking a lot about like, the stuff that we're talking about. Kind of like the idea of like simplicity and stuff, and the beauty that can come in that. And I think that a lot of it goes back to the idea of like what's most important to you.
Yeah, that's good.
And giving yourself that time to operate out of what's most important to you. And
that's awesome.
Cool.
That's so good. I think a lot of people again choose where they place their thoughts, and often myself included, we place it in the wrong things on a daily basis, and sometimes it's hard to control. But again, we always have that choice to decide, am I going to be grateful today that I woke up, that I'm healthy, that I'm serving a God who cares about my needs on a daily basis, and a God who's bigger than all of this, right? Who ultimately is in control. Or am I going to stress about the worldly stuff? It's really up to you at the end of the day. And, I think something that I remind myself every day, or at least I try to, is trying to choose an attitude of gratitude, and just being grateful for what I have, because it could easily be taken away. I could go at any second. You never really know.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you think in those terms of saying, hey, like, I'm not going to be here forever. you know. So
Yeah.
while I'm here, I hope that I make it a good one, and hopefully it serves others.
Yeah.
And helps, you know, other people. Because what am I going to do? Take it to the grave with me?
Yeah,
You know, take my resources to the grave with me? No, I'm going to give it.
Yeah, and I think that was
You know?
like why I made that comment was, you know, if I have stuff to give, like why would I waste it?
Hoard
You know
it.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like why would I if I can help someone, why would I?
Yeah.
Why would I not?
I agree.
That's good, man.
Cool.
Great
This
ending.
was a
Great ending.
Fun episode. There may or may not be a video for this one to upload. Apparently, this camera has a record limit, and I don't know why, because that's why I bought this camera. So, if you guys only see the audio, that is most likely why, because I did not want to stitch all the video stuff together. But as always, we thank you guys so much for listening, for hanging in there. I know it's been several weeks since we've uploaded, but we should be back hopefully pretty soon. Hopefully in the next week or two.
Yeah.
We'll make another episode. I got to do some troubleshooting with the camera, get this lighting set up.
Learning process. You just learn along the way.
Nate's going to have a red camera by the time we get here next week.
A red cinema camera.
I wish. If only.
Everyone wishes, bro.
Go buy me a lottery ticket, and then maybe we'll have one. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you later.